Hey guys, welcome back to Rossoneri TV. I'm Joe here for another fan reaction. This time I'm with Donato. We're gonna get a different kind of perspective here. We're getting it from a Juventino. Pretty sure you're happy after a 3-1 win there against AC Milan. Pretty easy match for Juve. What do you think?
Oh, of course, I'm ecstatic, right? It's always a big game against Milan. I still think that the game between Juve and Milan is the biggest in Serie A, no matter where they are in the standings. Obviously, historically, the two biggest teams winning the most trophies. I was a little bit surprised today at Inzaghi's tactics. I think he played a very high line, which played a little bit into Juve's favor because of how fast their forwards are, like Tevez, like Morata. Juve has been playing more counter-attacking football as of late. So I think that kind of played into their their game, as well as Milan not having the fastest back line. I'm a big fan of Paletta, but he's not the fastest guy in the world. But it's over the last couple of years, it's kind of been the same story where I feel like Milan always has more possession, even if they come to the Juve stadium. They keep passing it around, but they just lack that little bit of quality in the midfield, to make something happen. Maybe like a guy like Saponara, who they sent on loan. Maybe he could have been the guy to unlock Juve's defense.
Yeah, and speaking about midfield, you can just see the superiority there for Juventus with Vidal, Pogba, Marchisio, Pirlo. Just looking at those names, you can pretty much say it's a one game on paper because with the likes of Essien and Muntari there for Milan, it's not doing them any favors really in terms of playmaking and just in terms of ideas altogether. Um, do you think Milan could have adopted a different game? Maybe something like Udinese did last weekend against you guys?
I think so. I think if Milan maybe if they stacked the midfield a little bit more, because I guess when you see against Udinese, they had a guy like Allen who really stepped up, and the way they played almost like a flat back, a flat midfield with the five, and then almost like Di Natale or whoever was up front by themselves, and it really caused Juve problems. I think because Juve were missing a couple of guys like Vidal in the midfield and Marchisio was suspended. But Juve looked very one-dimensional last week. It looked like they just wanted to give the ball to Pogba and to see what he could do with it. But obviously, Pogba isn't the finished product like everybody thinks he is. People saying the $100 million price tag, but he still had a lot to learn. Has a lot to learn, and you could tell last week. I think this week, I think Milan could have done more in terms of using the flanks, using the width. When you have a guy like Menez on the field and a guy like Cherchi, you have guys that are going to use the touchline, even Honda. I was surprised that they didn't go wide and try to attack, especially Padoin, who isn't, as we all know, isn't the greatest of players. Attack more on his side, come in with the crosses. I mean, we've seen Antonelli, however you pronounce his name, with the header. So I think Juve is vulnerable in the air. And I would like Milan to have a little bit more crosses coming into the box. Even playing the ball a little bit more on the ground. I think maybe not putting in Bonaventura from the start was a big mistake. I think Milan with Essien and Muntari are very one-dimensional, whereas those guys are kind of battlers in the midfield. And I watched the game on Rai, which probably most people did as well, and the commentator kept saying, they lacked that extra bit of quality in the midfield with guys like Muntari and Essien. So I think they were kind of missing, that guy that they needed in the final third to get that extra pass to get in there to unlock Juve's defense.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when you're talking about Muntari and Essien, you're talking about players that are strong in the midfield that could probably win battles, but there's also that factor that you have to look at where they give lots and lots of balls away, and you can't do that against a team like Juventus where they're going to make you pay for your mistakes. So I'm pretty sure, once again, Muntari pretty much was the reason why Juve scored two of their goals. Just bad giveaways, and just that was the case, and you just can make those mistakes. So maybe with a different midfield we could have done better. Anyways, Donato, thank you for your time. Thank you for your insight. Guys, don't forget to follow him on Twitter at DonatoG87. He's a Juventino, but he's a chill guy. Come on. So give him a follow if you guys could. Thank you once again for your time. And
Well, thanks for having me on the show. I appreciate it. I always talk to Adamo. He's a big fan of our show at Stereo Serie A Radio. So,
Yes.
I appreciate the love. Anything, if we can help each other out, why not?
Sounds good, man. Thank you for your time, and hopefully we'll see you soon on the channel once again in the near future.
Yeah, anytime. I'd love to come back on the show. Had a good experience. I love it.
Perfect. Thank you guys for watching. This has been Gio from Rossoneri TV signing off.